you think 2023 has in store for us?
Certainly it's the hot topic. What are property prices going to do? General consensus is that prices are going to fall. Now, if you look at the whole of the country, I would probably agree. But as you know, our little area of operation, this hotspot in North Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, is rarely affected as badly as other parts of the country. And I'm ever hopeful there's still an awful lot of money out there. Property will be seen as a sound and safe investment, not necessarily a quick return, but a long-term investment still.
Yeah, inclined to agree with you on that. I mean, I've got a bit more wool on my back than you, and I remember a few recessions that we've had, and this area, there's always been an out, there's always an appetite, there's always a market. A savvy, discerning buyer can pick up some good projects and some good, not say good deals, but the right sort of property at the right sort of price.
One of the keys, people get hung up about, oh, what have I paid for it? You know, where's the price going? Look at what am I paying for it in comparison to what is it returning me, and if that still works, go for it. You know, it's still a good buy. Up about, oh, interest rates 5 and a bit percent, I'm borrowing at that. Actually, 5 and a bit percent is very safe. 5 and a bit percent gives something for everyone. It means that those with money who want to be ultra safe can just leave the money in the bank and they're getting something. But you can still borrow at a relatively modest level. Like you say, you'll remember the days of paying a mortgage probably at 15-17%. A little bit before my time, but you know, when I bought my first property, interest rates were 7, 8 and 9%, and we managed. Okay, loan to you were earning, the ratios have changed dramatically. But I think again, in this area of operation, where properties that will not only go up in value, but often parents that will help out, first-time buyers, I think, should still jump into the market.
I agree with you on that one for sure. And there's another factor, isn't there, that you need somewhere to live. You need a roof over your head. You've got a growing family. Are you really going to just sit tight in accommodation that isn't suited to you? Why not just go for it, buy that house that has the extra bedroom, has the extra bathroom, has the bigger garden, get the mortgage secure, live in it for the next 5-10 years, and you've risen out any peaks and troughs in the market.
The other massive benefit is you get to enjoy your investment, like you say. You know, rather than sticking it in stocks and shares and suddenly it's disappeared, you can see it, you can physically touch the investment. It's there and it isn't going anywhere, and should you need to at some point in the future and you can't afford to stay there, or it's too expensive to run or whatever else, you can always downsize. And at the moment, and hopefully for the foreseeable future, depending on what happens in the government, your primary residence is tax-free, so any money that you make, it's a forced saving. You know, you're paying into this mortgage that means at some point in the future, should you need to downsize, you can take a lump sum out tax-free.
And you mentioned investment. I think that's an important point. Owning a property as an investment, I think, is still a good deal. We're seeing upward pressure on rents. We're seeing the returns rising. I mean, we were dropped as low as about 4.25% gross return. Well, you know, 5% is comfortable now, and if you're seeing that sort of return, it's worth dipping your toe into the investment market.
Not only the resi investment market, commercial investment market. You know, there's some really popular little hotspots. We're seeing these towns and cities improve now. It's been through the doldrums. I think we're coming out the other side, and we need them to do well. Yes, we're seeing parts of the towns and cities become more residential, as they often were, but there's real opportunity both in the centre and on that secondary trading area for a sound investment at the moment.
That brings us neatly to the auctions, doesn't it? I mean, we specialise in auctions, and there were some great deals to be had at auction, but not only from a buyer's point of view. A vendor can get a good deal on a sale, and it's a clean cut deal. Gavel comes down, deal's done. You get your money in 28 days. It's a good way of selling, isn't it?
Brilliant way of selling. It takes out the grey area. And unfortunately, you know, 30 years of doing this, 30 years ago, we would comfortably get to an exchange of contracts within 4 to 6 weeks on a private treaty sale. Now you sell something, you're lucky if it's 12 or 14 weeks before that exchange of contracts, and that increased period between somebody saying I will buy and committing to purchase can be very difficult and increases the chances of the deal falling through. You're still paying your solicitor, you're increasing your costs, and you still haven't got the move at the end of it. Beauty by auction, you can set your stall out as to when you're going to exchange contracts, when you're going to complete. So you're booking all your removals, you're booking everything well in advance of needing to, and it removes a lot of the stress. Okay, auction day might be interesting, and you'll sit there watching what goes on, thinking how much is it going to make, but you know what your bottom line is, you know what the reserve price is set at, and if it doesn't reach that, you're staying put.
I think we've summarised it reasonably well. 2023, choppy waters, but by no means, certainly in this area that we operate in, there's some deals to be had. The market's going to keep turning, the wheels are going to keep turning. Go for it, I'd say.
100% agree. I can't see this market changing dramatically. There might be little blips through the year, but all in all, if the government hold a steady ship, then we will be fine.
What's going to happen to prices? Yeah, we might see a little bit of settling, but as Richard said earlier, if you take this over 5 to 10 years, the graph always goes upwards. So the prices, get it bought now. Yeah, if you have to cash out in a year's time, you might lose, but the graph goes upwards. Get it bought now, I'd say.